2023. In Chaldean numerology, 2023 has a significant meaning. The 20 is connected to the awakening, and the 23 is the royal star of the lion. With these combinations of numbers, there's an elegant mystery and a royal emerging within the year of 2023. It can be one of freedom. There seems to be a blessing over this year and a mysterious aura that is conjuring this blessing. There is a lot of chains unlocking within this year that we're going to find, with the 23 being reduced down to a 5, which is the spirit of man. Therefore, in this blueprint, we are going to look at the transits and how they will deeply affect your story. For Libra rising, sun, and moon, we begin 2023 with Mars in direct in Gemini. This is going to be important because Mars has been in retrograde since before 2023, and we have been dealing with our need to communicate and how these communications can sometimes create unnecessary confrontations. And as a sign that doesn't really like confrontations, it's one of the first lessons that you're going to be learning in 2023 about surrender. When Mars goes direct on January the 12th in Gemini, it's going to be hitting your 9th house. And this is an area of the chart that has to do with being quiet when it comes to your opinions, but being extremely, extremely heard when it comes to your visions and what you want to teach the world. It is a time now where you may choose to publish or distribute something. It is a time where you may passionately want to impulsively even put some literary works out into the world. You really want to think big and you want to think far at this point, right at the beginning of the year, and also surrender your expectations of how people receive it. But do indeed allow this Mars energy moving direct to help you put your thoughts and philosophies out there. March 7th to 8th, Saturn moves into Pisces. Now, Saturn has been transiting Aquarius for the past 3 years. So Saturn moving into Pisces is a significant shift. As this is connected to your discipline, preparation, Saturn is a planet of learning lessons. And when these lessons are carried out, we experience karmic reward. Saturn creates incredible justice for you, Libra, in 2023 due to the work ethic that you have been doing in already. Now, when Saturn moves into the 6th house, which for most Libras, that's where Saturn will be, this is going to be connected to your work ethic. Now, this is going to actually be polarizing because Pisces is a restful sign. And in the 6th house, it's actually kind of against its own energy. You're going to have to learn how to work really hard and learn how to work really hard at resting. Going to have to maintain the balance as you always will, and focusing on practicing and giving yourself strong stepping stones towards your goals. Saturn makes you want to become a big achiever in your work ethic, and it makes you want to become your own authority. Many of you may be in job situations where a new manager or a manager comes to take over. Some of you may become that manager. Many of you will want to be managing your daily lives and schedules. It is a key thing for you to become comfortable with your routines and creating routines that truly satisfy you mentally, emotionally, and spiritually and physically. Routines should include rest and also allow yourself to not have any expectations on the routines themselves, in the sense that you can change them up as you go and you discover what works for you. If you work in this preparatory way with Saturn, then you will experience incredible karmic rewards. You may get promotions in your job. You may find yourself getting rewards for your work ethic, and you may be recognized for the work ethic that you do. Even more significance comes later in March. On the 23rd, Pluto moves into Aquarius. This is huge because Pluto has taken 15 years to transit through Capricorn. This has been in what most of you Libra charts have in your fourth house. This has been a journey that has been connected to dealing with some crisis when it comes to moving in your home and shelter, learning how to find power in your home and shelter, and empower yourself and the people around you. Pluto, in a lot of ways globally, was working through Capricorn to purify the construct of CEOs and enterprise. Now, Pluto comes into Aquarius to purify social hierarchies and the way that we engage through social intelligence. And you, Libra, you're one of the signs that is constantly working hard at being the epitome of elegance in your social intelligence. And what I find with this transit that you're going to get is a lot of relief, because Pluto is actually focused for you in an area that has to do with your joy. This is while the world and everyone else is kind of working through their clumsiness and how they relate with one another. For you, Libra, this is a time where you are getting a chance to purify out the toxic things that keep you from your joy. And you may have already started experiencing this as Saturn has been moving through Aquarius and has been making you work really hard at finding your joy. Pluto moving here is actually really letting you see that the way that you have been keeping yourself from all the things that bring happiness into your life is one of the most toxic things you could do to yourself. And so Pluto in your fifth house is connecting you straight to your inner child, purifying all of the blocks that keep you from experiencing the joy that children have and the energy that children have as well. Pluto is also going to be purifying your romantic nature and really helping you to see where it is that you sabotaged yourself when it comes to romance and really enjoying dating and feeling flirtatious and feeling like you can have fun with love. So this is going to be a transit that is connected to the crises of where you have been very sad and have allowed that to be your normal way of life. And so it may feel like it is a major ego surrender for 2023 for many Libras. And I think that if you surrender in a most delightful way, then you will find some delicious things to enjoy. So the key is really to let go of your control. And Pluto in your fifth house is really one of the major transits that's going to show you that. The final transit that I want to speak to you, Libra, for is the South Node moving through your sign, which will happen midway through the year in the summertime in July. And this is huge. This is the thing that I've been saying is the thematic meaning of 2023 for you, Libra, which is surrender. And this is going to be a complete transformation of the ego and all the things that you thought that you were, eliminating arrogance at its core for you. And arrogance really is basically just only seeing one version of things and trying to have a lot of control over that one version of things. So this means that you are not able to control your social etiquette in the world. You're not able to always be the one that shows up perfectly to people. And you may have been starting to get very comfortable with that. No matter how hard you try, you're not going to be liked by everyone. And for Libra, that's a huge thing. Like, you really do want to be liked by everyone. And this South Nodal energy is going to show you where, you really aren't. And how powerful that is, because your sign being one of duality that we really see, the scales, and you needing to be able to stay balanced amongst the differences that happen out in the world is going to be important for you. This is also a time where you may transform and change the way that you look. You might be very much so into new styles that you've never tried before. You might be letting go of certain superficial or materialistic ideals that didn't serve you. And you may be taking on even newer materialistic ideas, things that connect you more to who you really feel that you are versus maybe a more masked, fake version of you that you had to pretend to be. So 2023 is really about you letting go, complete release. And there's a lot of strength in surrender for you this year. You'll be learning not to have to stand up for yourself so much. You'll be learning to not necessarily have to be the front and center so much. And that could be difficult if you really enjoy being in the front and center. But it's really about allowing others to kind of stand before you. Allow others to stand up for themselves. It's a year of justice for you, Libra, and justice not in the sense of punishment for people who have done you wrong or anything like that. In fact, a lot of ways, you're going to have to release a lot of that need to retaliate or get back at other people. And you've probably already learned that because the South Node has been in Scorpio. But really, the true justice is your work ethic, the things that you have put into, the fruitfulness that you have been growing. And true justice is seeing those things flourish. True justice is seeing people want to stand up for you or want to stand up for themselves because of you. True justice is seeing that it's all about the good that you have done and how that flourishes versus trying to get back at someone. So while there are various transits that we could talk about, Jupiter in Taurus and in Aries, these are the transits that I think are the most important to talk about. But if you would like to get the full breakdown, I do have a worksheet for all of the signs, especially you, Libra, with all of the transits that are the most significant for 2023, where you can take this, break it down, write notes, answer some questions, and prepare yourself to have an enormously great year. A very unique spin on astrology is what we do here. Now it's time to put your astrology into action.